Talking about HubSpot, I think we should move on to talk about our new HubSpot connector, which we've been building for a while and is incredibly straightforward to implement. And I know, Mikko, you've been doing these implementations a lot recently with customers who have started using Vainu Global. Can you talk us through on how it works?
Yes, happy to do that. So now let's go to the connector. So I think that's the maybe the biggest advantage of building this by using domain as a unique key. We can provide extremely high match rates with HubSpot. So if you want to use a third-party vendor to enrich your HubSpot and to provide additional data fields, it always starts by connecting your HubSpot companies with that external database that you're using, in this case, Vainu. And since we use company website, meaning domain as a unique key, and that seems to be more or less also the unique key HubSpot is using, we can provide very high match rate. This example, of course, I only have 502 accounts, companies in my HubSpot, match rate is 100. But when it comes to the first initial users, international companies with tens of thousands of companies in HubSpot, match rates have been like 99.55, 96.0, 99.77. So it's very high, as long as you have the domain company property field in your HubSpot. And then after that, it's a very automatic process. And I think, you can just try it out for free if you want. We also automatically do the company or the data mapping. So once you have connected your HubSpot companies with companies in Vainu, then this happens automatically. We suggest that these are the data fields we would like to bring over. So the ones that I already mentioned, what's the HQ location, how big is the company? This is a specific one, redirect information. So if you have domains in your HubSpot that are permanently redirecting to another domain, this is super important for keeping your HubSpot clean. One of the initial customers, they had roughly 40,000 companies in HubSpot, and we found out that 3,000 out of 40,000 have domain that is permanently redirecting, meaning that those companies have been acquired by others. So of course, super helpful to basically by doing a couple of clicks to clean 8% of their HubSpot companies. Also, Vainu custom industry data goes very nicely. And for some of these data points, we automatically create the company property for your HubSpot. So you don't have to do anything and manage properties or things like that. You can just click the button and we automatically create the new properties that are needed. Vainu segments, web traffic, all this information goes over. And once you're okay with the data mapping, then you can simply go to data updates. You can still select the fields that you want to update. We provide 3 options for update. One is that if you don't want us to update one of the properties, then you can just leave it out. If you want us to update, you can always pick and choose if Vainu should overwrite the information you have in HubSpot. If you always overwrite, then we will bring the latest data on that. Or you can decide also to update that property only if that data already comes from us or if you don't have any value in there. So 3 options for all data fields, and basically you just select what you need. And then when you're happy with that, then you can go back and turn on either one-time update or just keep it automatically up to date, and then you don't have to do anything, and the data is always very accurate. Do I have time to quickly also show something called mass export?
Definitely, yes.
Yeah. So I think this is really interesting for sales ops and sales enablement people. I think it gives sort of superpowers for those individuals to create campaigns. So we do it because in the data mapping, it's not only company objects that you can map. You can also map, for example, tasks and notes. And I've already done it, and also how this actually works. So if you have a search that you like, let's say I have this. So I created a search. I'm using IT management and IT consulting. So I want to go after IT management and IT consulting companies that are clearly Microsoft Gold partners. So then I did a website keyword search that they need to mention Microsoft Gold on the website, which is a good indicator that they are Microsoft Gold partners. And then I wanted to only have SMB companies, so companies with 51 and 200 employees. So then I have 277 results. I can, as a sales ops or sales enablement person, I can send these companies to HubSpot. And then what happens is quite unique. So of course, some of these companies might already exist in my HubSpot. So let's assume 77 of these companies already exist in HubSpot. We detect that one and we don't create duplicates, meaning that only 200 new companies will be created. However, all these 277, so 77 existing ones and 200 new ones, they will also get a new property called Vainu segment. And then you can type in it basically the name of the list, Microsoft Gold, IT management, and IT consulting. So then salespeople will immediately know that, hey, this company is part of this campaign. If you also decide to send a task at the same time, then people who own these companies in HubSpot, they will also receive a task saying that, hey, new campaign, let's go after these Microsoft partners as we discussed, and let's use the sales playbook designed for that campaign. And since we create also new companies, you can also decide how we assign these new opportunities for salespeople. You can pick yourself, or you can pick, for example, the group of SDRs. And if you pick 5 SDRs, all these companies will be split and divided evenly between the individuals you choose. And most likely you don't want to override current owners. So if you had 77 of these companies already in HubSpot, they will remain in that existing ownership, and those individuals will just receive a task that, hey, this existing company that you have in your portfolio, there's a campaign, Microsoft campaign for IT management and consulting, time to reach out. And I could show you also how it looks on the HubSpot side. So then again, I have these 502 companies in HubSpot. So when I do the mass export, this Vainu segment information is visible in this column. So this is IT management consulting, Microsoft partners. And then I have all the information that I decided to update from Vainu. So in the past, I was relying on just the industry data provided by HubSpot Insights. And of course, I mean, it's not super useful because all these companies are most likely consulting or software. But Vainu Custom Industry brings me lots of labels that I know exactly what type of IT management and consulting they're doing. Are they focused on cybersecurity, consulting, cloud computing, cloud data services, or what? And then this tag is visible here. Also, as a main user, you can modify your company view in HubSpot so that you have our custom industry data here. And I mean, this is what we had before Vainu integration. We just knew that this company is computer software, but now we know exactly what they do. And this Vainu segment tag is also visible. So IT management, consulting, Microsoft partners. And if I go to my tasks, I also have this new task, new campaign task, Microsoft partners. And I also have a note here saying that this company is part of the ICP campaign that was created by sales ops. And I mean, as a sales ops person, you can even write down some notes that, hey, when reaching out, remember to use these case studies that we have with those customers. So I think this is maybe the feature, especially sales ops people have liked the most when it comes to our existing pilot customers, because they can really steer SDRs, BDRs, and AEs to go after the right type of companies. And by using tasks, you can also easily track return on investment and if there's actually new pipeline being created because of this.